Police are investigating a D.C. Metro police officer. His name is Nicholas Young. He's charged with trying to assist ISIS. Now, Young was born in America. He converted to Islam. Sheriff David Clarke is with us. Sheriff, this is a very dangerous situation if a law enforcement officer is trying to help ISIS. Are we to the point where we have to check out Muslim converts who are part of the authorities? Are we there?
You know, Stuart, we need Congress to do a reset on how we're doing domestic intelligence here in the United States. This is a very stupid way to deal with radicalized Americans. It is inefficient and ineffective. You can't spend 6 years on an investigation. This is how Omar Mateen went off the radar screen. This is how the Boston bombers went off the radar screen with the FBI. This is how Nadal Hassan at Fort Hood and the idiots in the San Bernardino attack went off the radar screen. They spend years and years and years and nothing happens, and then they deem that the individual is not a threat when they are a threat.
But
the red flags
do,
on this
Sheriff?
guy happened well before 6 years. Here's what we do. Here's what we do, and it's this basic. All right, if you pledge allegiance to Islamic State, you are an enemy combatant. We can't use the law enforcement model where you look for evidence of a crime before you make an arrest. If you're talking stupid, we got to make you pay. You are an enemy combatant. You need to be brought in for a thorough debriefing. Maybe you don't have a crime, but you bring them in for a thorough debriefing. And then your intelligence analysts keep up with them. You don't follow the guys. The intelligence analysts can follow him for 6 years, and they look at his travel. They look at his purchases. But you got members of the FBI, and this is through no fault of theirs. This is just a flawed strategy that they don't have much to do with. But to do it like this, there are tens of thousands, probably more, radicalized Americans here in the United States. If you take 6 years on each one, some of them will be in their 90s by the time you get around to it. We need an intelligence agency, a domestic intelligence agency, true domestic intelligence. We need a wartime model. In other words, these are enemy combatants. No more waiting for them to commit a crime. This is ineffective. It's not going to work.
You're talking about a British MI6. That's what you're talking about. Now, hold on a second. We've got a 19-year-old man in London. He's been arrested. Went on a stabbing attack in a tourist area, actually Russell Square in London, and he killed an American woman. It's a foolish question. How do we keep these areas safe? I mean, there is no answer to that question, is there?
Well, here's how you keep it safe. First of all, you have to trust law-abiding citizens. I'm not going to tell people in the UK what they should do, but here in the United States, we have a Constitution. I trust law-abiding citizens. We're going to have to enlist the help of armed law-abiding citizens when they visit these public spaces. We have to get rid of this crazy idea of a gun-free zone and allow citizens to play a role. Look at how they do this in Israel.
Wait a minute, Sheriff. Are you calling for a vigilante system?
You can call it what you want, okay? Vigilante, whatever you want to call it. What I'm calling is for individual Americans to be able to defend themselves against these types of attacks. You look at the community college in, I think it was Oregon, where the guy lined everybody up and shot him like he was at an arcade shooting at ducks, okay? If there would have been 1 or 2 people in this gun-free zone, this community college, they could have ended that attack earlier. We're never going to end all the attacks, but in Israel, what they're able to do with the Israeli approach, to limit the carnage. In other words, a stabbing starts to occur, there's a soldier or an Israeli police officer nearby because they actually occupy the area. This thing ends real quickly, the perp is dead, few casualties, if any, and that's what we want to see. We can't have 48 people killed in a nightclub. We can't have 19 people killed at a social center, or 17 in San Bernardino, or numerous people killed on a community college. You want to limit the carnage that can go on. You have to start trusting law-abiding citizens.
We hear you. We hear you. Sheriff David Clarke, frequent guest on the program, a valued guest, and we appreciate it. Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you. Thank you.